Good evening. Here is the latest marine weather update and hazardous conditions forecast across the waters surrounding the United States tonight and through Friday, June 12, 2026. A highly active weather pattern continues to affect several major marine regions surrounding the United States tonight and through Friday. Mariners, commercial shipping operators, and fishing fleets should remain alert as multiple areas face the threat of strong thunderstorms, dangerous winds, rough seas, and locally reduced visibility. Across the western Atlantic waters off the northeast coast, a strengthening area of high pressure remains positioned offshore while a disturbance approaches from the Great Lakes. During the overnight hours, scattered thunderstorms may develop from the coastal waters of New England southward toward the mid-Atlantic bight. Some storms could produce wind gusts exceeding 35 knots, dangerous cloud-to-water lightning, and locally rough seas. By Friday afternoon and evening, thunderstorm coverage is expected to increase significantly as a cold front approaches the coast. Mariners operating near the waters of New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and Maine should prepare for rapidly changing weather conditions and short-notice marine warnings. Along the southeast Atlantic coast, including waters off the Carolinas, Georgia, and Florida, warm tropical moisture remains abundant. Numerous showers and thunderstorms are expected to continue developing overnight and throughout Friday. Some storms may generate wind gusts of 30 to 40 knots, torrential rainfall, and sharply reduced visibility. Localized waterspouts cannot be ruled out near stronger thunderstorm cells. Recreational boaters should exercise extreme caution, particularly during the afternoon and evening hours when thunderstorm activity is expected to peak. Over the Gulf of Mexico, conditions remain unsettled as deep tropical moisture interacts with intense daytime heating. Numerous thunderstorms are expected across the northern and eastern Gulf waters tonight and Friday. Mariners may encounter sudden squalls capable of producing frequent lightning, wind gusts above 40 knots, steep waves, and visibility below 1 mile in heavy rain. Fishing vessels operating offshore from Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Florida should closely monitor weather radar and marine forecasts before departing port. The Caribbean Sea and waters surrounding Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands will remain under the influence of persistent easterly trade winds. Moderate to occasionally strong winds are expected, especially across the southern Caribbean passages. Passing tropical showers and isolated thunderstorms may produce locally rough seas and brief visibility reductions. Small craft operators should remain aware of rapidly changing marine conditions near heavier showers. Across the central and eastern Pacific waters off Southern California and Baja-adjacent routes, generally stable conditions will prevail. However, strong northwesterly winds may develop over portions of the outer coastal waters, producing choppy seas and hazardous conditions for smaller vessels. Areas of dense marine fog are likely to persist near the California coastline during the overnight and early morning hours, reducing visibility for maritime traffic entering and leaving major ports. Further north, the Pacific Northwest coastal waters will experience increasing northerly winds as strong high pressure builds inland. Seas will gradually become rougher through Friday, particularly over the offshore waters of Washington and Oregon. Mariners should be prepared for strengthening winds and building wave heights throughout the forecast period. The waters surrounding Alaska remain highly variable. A series of disturbances moving across the Bering Sea and western Alaska will continue generating periods of rain, gusty winds, and rough seas. Small craft advisories may be required in several coastal zones. Meanwhile, portions of the Gulf of Alaska will experience more favorable conditions, although localized fog and occasional showers may still reduce visibility. In Hawaiian waters, moderate to locally strong trade winds will continue through Friday. Choppy conditions are expected along windward channels and coastal waters. Brief passing showers may reduce visibility at times, but widespread hazardous marine weather is not anticipated. Nevertheless, small craft should remain cautious in areas where stronger trade winds accelerate through island channels. For all mariners and fishing communities, the primary hazards through Friday will be strong thunderstorms, sudden wind gusts, dangerous lightning, localized waterspouts, rough seas, and sharply reduced visibility in heavy rain. Vessel operators are strongly advised to check the latest marine forecasts before departure, maintain continuous monitoring of marine communications while at sea, ensure all safety equipment is fully operational, and avoid navigating near active thunderstorm clusters whenever possible. Conditions can deteriorate rapidly, especially across the Gulf of Mexico, the southeast Atlantic waters, and portions of the northeast coast, where severe thunderstorms may develop.
Here is the latest nationwide weather update and forecast for tonight and Friday, June 12, 2026. Regional weather forecast. Northeast. A warm and increasingly humid air mass remains firmly established across the northeast as high pressure offshore continues to dominate the region. Tonight, scattered showers and thunderstorms may develop from northern New York into Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. A few storms could produce brief heavy downpours, frequent lightning, and gusty winds. On Friday, temperatures will remain well above normal, with highs ranging from the upper 80s to middle 90s. Heat indices may approach or exceed 100 degrees Fahrenheit in major metropolitan areas, including New York City, Philadelphia, Hartford, and Boston. During the afternoon and evening, a cold front approaching from the Great Lakes may trigger scattered to numerous thunderstorms, some of which could become severe with damaging wind gusts and localized flooding. Regional weather forecast, Southeast. The Southeast will continue to experience a classic summertime weather pattern with hot temperatures and abundant moisture. Tonight, scattered thunderstorms will persist across Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, Alabama, and portions of Mississippi. Heavy rainfall and isolated flash flooding may occur in localized areas. On Friday, temperatures will climb into the upper 80s and middle 90s, while heat indices may exceed 105 degrees Fahrenheit across parts of Florida and the Gulf Coast. Numerous afternoon and evening thunderstorms are expected, particularly along sea breeze boundaries and near the Gulf Coast, where tropical moisture remains elevated. Regional weather forecast, Midwest. The Midwest remains the focal point for significant severe weather. Tonight, clusters of thunderstorms will continue developing across Iowa, Illinois, Missouri, Wisconsin, and Minnesota. Some storms may produce damaging winds, large hail, torrential rainfall, and isolated tornadoes. On Friday, a strong upper-level disturbance interacting with very warm and humid air will create favorable conditions for another outbreak of severe thunderstorms. The greatest threat extends from eastern Iowa and northern Missouri into Illinois, Indiana, southern Wisconsin, and Michigan. Widespread damaging winds, very large hail, heavy rainfall, and several tornadoes remain possible throughout the day and evening. Regional weather forecast, Great Lakes. The Great Lakes region will remain under an elevated severe weather threat. Tonight, thunderstorms moving eastward may affect Wisconsin, Michigan, northern Illinois, and northern Indiana with heavy rain and strong wind gusts. On Friday, hot and unstable conditions will develop ahead of an approaching cold front. Temperatures are expected to reach the 80s and lower 90s. Numerous thunderstorms may organize into severe lines capable of producing damaging straight-line winds, hail, frequent lightning, and isolated tornadoes around Lakes Michigan, Huron, Erie, and Ontario. Regional weather forecast, Plains, Central Plains. The Central Plains continue to experience an active severe weather pattern. Tonight, severe thunderstorms are expected from Nebraska and Kansas northward through South Dakota and North Dakota. Large hail, destructive wind gusts, and several tornadoes remain possible. On Friday, another round of thunderstorms is expected to develop during the afternoon and evening across Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, and portions of Texas. Some storms may evolve into large mesoscale convective systems capable of producing widespread wind damage, intense lightning, and localized flash flooding. Temperatures ahead of the storms will reach the upper 80s to upper 90s.
Regional weather forecast, Southwest. The Southwest will remain extremely hot and mostly dry. Tonight, clear skies will dominate much of Arizona, southern Nevada, southeastern California, and western New Mexico. On Friday, dangerous heat will continue, with temperatures ranging from 100 to 112 degrees Fahrenheit across lower desert communities. Isolated afternoon thunderstorms may develop over the mountains of Arizona and New Mexico, producing gusty outflow winds, lightning, blowing dust, and brief heavy rainfall. Regional weather forecast: Rockies. The Rockies will experience a combination of warm temperatures and scattered mountain thunderstorms. Tonight, isolated thunderstorms will gradually diminish across Colorado, Wyoming, Montana, and Utah. On Friday afternoon, renewed thunderstorm activity is expected, especially over Colorado and northern New Mexico. Some storms may become strong, with hail, gusty winds, and localized heavy rainfall. Temperatures will remain several degrees above seasonal averages across many valleys and foothill communities. Regional weather forecast: Northwest. The Northwest continues to experience an early season heat event. Tonight, mostly clear skies and mild temperatures will prevail across Washington, Oregon, and Idaho. On Friday, strong high pressure will bring abundant sunshine and significantly warmer conditions. High temperatures will range from the upper 90s to middle 90s, while portions of eastern Washington, eastern Oregon, and the Columbia Basin may approach or exceed 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Dry vegetation and gusty afternoon winds will elevate wildfire concerns across portions of the region. Regional weather forecast: West Coast. The West Coast will remain largely dry. Tonight, areas of low clouds and marine fog will persist along portions of the California coastline. On Friday, pleasant temperatures are expected near the coast, while inland regions experience substantial warming. California's Central Valley may see highs between 95 and 105 degrees Fahrenheit. Interior Northern California and inland Oregon will also experience hot summer-like conditions under mostly sunny skies. Regional weather forecast: Alaska. Across Alaska, unsettled weather will continue in several regions. Tonight, scattered showers will affect western and northern Alaska, while southern coastal areas remain relatively dry. On Friday, periods of rain are expected across portions of western and interior Alaska, accompanied by cooler-than-average temperatures. Meanwhile, southeastern Alaska will enjoy milder weather, with intervals of sunshine and only isolated showers. Regional weather forecast: Hawaii. The Hawaiian Islands will continue under a moderate trade wind pattern. Tonight, passing showers will affect windward slopes and coastal communities, while leeward locations remain mostly dry. On Friday, moderate to locally breezy trade winds will persist across the islands. Sunshine will dominate much of the morning, followed by scattered clouds and brief showers during the afternoon, mainly over windward and mountain areas. Temperatures will remain seasonable, generally ranging from the lower to middle 80s. That concludes your nationwide weather forecast for tonight and Friday, June 12, 2026. Thank you for watching Hurricane and Storm Center. Stay safe, stay weather aware, and we'll see you again in the next forecast update.